What's up, guys? Today we are getting a little upgrade in the living room setup today. We've got the brand new Valencia Nathan leather sofa. Okay, once you get everything unboxed, you'll see that on the bottom of the sofa or the couch, whatever you pick up, you're gonna see this little gripper thing here, a bunch of teeth. On the opposite end is a little nub. So when you put these two together like this is gonna grip onto that little end piece there. So once you hear those clicks, you can see now that keeps the couch together so they don't slide apart. So if you were to jump on the couch like this, so if you were to come on over and then just jump on the couch doesn't separate. And I've been with these chairs, with this Loveseat, for a few days now, and I can tell you that this is one of the more comfortable seats that I've had from Valencia. If you guys remember the seats that I had in here previously when I did my living room home theater tour, I had the Valencia Naples, which was more of a home theater centric seat that you could use for a media room, but it did have that glossy armrest on it. And also, it looked more like a home theater seat rather than being in a living room such as this one. So it looked a little bit weird. So I did reach out to them and I did request this seat for the living room because this does look more like a living room seat. But one of the coolest things is that the backrest is only 28 inches from the floor to the top of the backrest. So again, if you've seen any of my home theater seating review videos or even the Naples video, you can see once I'm sitting down, there's my surround speaker and then there's my back wall. I don't have that headrest to kind of get in the way of the sound reflecting either from the surround speakers or off the back wall. So you get that nice ambiance that travels around the room. Now, of course, it does have that low backrest, but this is kind of a large Loveseat. If we're talking dimension-wise, we're looking at 88 inches width-wise, 28 inches from floor to the top of the backrest. And then depth-wise, it is about 40 inches. So it is pretty long and it's also pretty deep. So if you have a small room such as this one, I would say this is a small to medium-sized room. Just make sure that you pick the correct seating configuration because this does come in the Loveseat. This does come in like a sectional, and it also comes in like a different pieces. So if you want to make it even longer than the two Loveseats, you want 3 seats in a row, or the L-shaped sectional, you can do that as well. So this does come in a bunch of different options. This also comes in brown. I've got the black version here. Now, this is leather, just like all of Valencia's other seats. But if you get up close, unlike some of the seats that I reviewed in the past, like the Tuscany and the Oslo, this one has aniline leather, which this does retain the leather texture. So if you can see all the kind of the wrinkles and striations in the leather. And over time, the longer that you use this, the more that you sit on it, the more you rest your arms on it, the leather can change colors over time in patina, which will give the seat its own natural characteristics. So if you have this for a long time, and I have this for a long time, our seats will probably look very different after a couple of years. Unlike the Tuscany seats, which is a top grain leather. So with that, they actually shave off the top layer of that leather. So that way it gets rid of all these natural striations and imperfections in the leather. Plus they put a top coat on top of it, which will protect it from scratches and all that. This one here is much more easily scratchable. Also, since this does have the natural leather texture, their top grain stuff, like the Tuscany seats, the Oslo, even the Barcelona, that has kind of a embossed texture, so almost like a faux leather texture. So if you were to look at these two together, I'll try to put a screenshot up on the screen. This one will look, texture-wise, it'll look very different than the Tuscany, the top grain leather. That's gonna look very uniform. So if you want more of a cleaner, more resilient leather, top grain might be for you. But if you want a leather that's gonna really age over time with you and with your usage, this is definitely going to be the way to go. Plus, this leather is also a lot softer and more premium feeling than their top grain leathers. Now, as far as the cushions, this does have a combination of foam as well as down feather. So I believe the bottom half is made out of that foam and then the top half is covered in down feather, so this doesn't have a very firm seat. This feels semi-firm. So once you sit into it, you get that soft, pillowy down feather on your butt, but then as you sink into it, you do get that semi-firmness from the foam. The seats are non-removable, so it comes as is. Once you take it out of the box, as you saw in the unboxing, these are all just one single piece. So if you wanted to like remove the cushions or something like that to get underneath to clean it, you can't do that because it's all stitched together. Although you can reach behind it, and if you have like a vacuum attachment, you can get the crumbs and stuff like that out of it. This is a low profile seat, like I said, so there's really no space under it. So if you want to put a subwoofer or something like that under the seat, there's not enough room to do that. I'm sure you could probably remove the legs and put some larger legs under it if you wanted to. It'll probably give it a slightly different look, but this is a very low profile seat. It sits very low to the ground. It is a Loveseat. There's only 2 cushions, but you could probably easily fit 4, maybe 5 people. I'd say 4 people with still, comfortable elbow room sitting next to each other. And since this is, since my living room is kind of smallish, we did go for the Loveseat. So if we wanted to, if you're like 6 foot, I think you'll be fine to like use this to lay down on. But just for me and my wife, this is more than enough for both of us and maybe like a guest or 2. Another nice feature of the sofa, the armrests are pretty big. So if you wanted to, I'm not saying you can take your drinks and rest it on the armrest, but this does have a wide armrest. So if you do have a drink, obviously put a coaster on the armrest, but the armrest does have a large surface area. So if you wanted to take your iPad, stuff like that, plenty of room to rest it on the armrest, plenty of room to rest your arm on the armrest. And this does, as far as like comfortability wise, this does lay kind of low. I know they offer very similar seats on their website that is kind of higher. It's actually in line with the top of the backrest. Those can be a little bit uncomfortable, but this one does sit a little bit lower from the backrest, so you do get that nice comfortability where your arm naturally rests on the armrest. And also the backrest is a little bit wider than the armrest, so if you are to come home, maybe slap your tablet on the back of the backrest, you can do that as well. You can drape your jacket over it, stuff like that. So there's plenty of space, not only on the armrest, but on the backrest as well. So as far as not only just being a Loveseat for the living room, I could also see this seat in this configuration, maybe one of the larger straight row configurations, as well as being a really good, competent home theater seating, because it does have that low profile to it. This does remind me very much of their Barcelona seats, which is their home theater centric seat, which I think you can get in kind of Loveseat configuration also. The Barcelonas do recline. This one obviously doesn't recline. It's just kind of static, just like this. But if you wanted to just put this not only in your living room home theater like I have here, or in your dedicated home theater space, I can 100% see this being a viable option for that, because you will get those benefits of having the low profile, low backrest. So as far as like multimedia, home theater centric stuff, it's gonna be awesome for that, for getting the full surround effect from not only your surround speakers, your Atmos speakers, just audio all around. This is just an excellent option, not only for home theater, but your living room multimedia home theater space. Now, in the future, I would like to see some of their home theater seating options like the Barcelona seats, which are my favorite. Maybe even the Tuscany have this same kind of aniline leather rather than having the top grain leather, because I feel like this is a more premium look for your home theater. This obviously looks great in my living room, but again, if I were to move over to Valencia's again in the future, I would say Barcelona seats in this leather would be a perfect combination. But as far as just this by itself, I have been living with this for a little bit now, and this has got to be one of the best seats, most comfortable seats that I've had in quite some time, and much better than those home theater seating options like the Naples that I had in the past. So this just looks like it fits in my living room. It's clean, it's got the low profile look, so if you have a smaller space like this, it doesn't take up a lot of space, so it keeps the area really open, so it makes your smaller room look a lot bigger. Overall, great seats. I highly recommend them if you're looking to just upgrade not only your home theater, but your living room as well, or your media room. But thanks for watching, guys. Leave your comment down below. Let me know what you think about these seats. Do you have seats that are similar to this? And what seats do you have in your home theater? Leave your comment down below and let me know. Thanks for watching, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next video.